Hello everyone and welcome back. I am Duke Silver. Today we're going to be playing Fortuna. So Fortuna's hero power is we get a free level 6 character at level 4 and at level 6. So yeah, we start off pretty strong here. We get a shield page as well as a talking frog to start with 2 demons deals. Starting 2 HP down but getting an extra character. It's a deal I'll take pretty much every time. We're even going to lock this demon's deal. We have taken quite a few or a couple damage already from the demon's deals, but I think it's definitely worth it here to get the extra gold. It just gets us so far ahead, and we actually get a shield page triple here, and we're gonna skip the treasure. These treasures just not that exciting to me, so we can pick up a third talking frog here. We probably won't flip this one right away. We want to wait till our board's a little bit more full, but having that on deck is kind of nice, and we deal some damage to amateur here. Always want to deal damage to amateur, as they can. I mean, I guess like they're less scary now that they don't have access to the idol. The treasure options are a little bit more limited, but like a mana catalyst is still pretty scary out of an amateur. We're just gonna play down. We're gonna play basically as weak as possible and just bank a gold here, and we're gonna take this lose the fight, win the war XP spell, hoping to lose the fight, and we only just barely lose. Even playing as weak as we did with a 1-9 and a 0-6, we almost tie the fight there. So that was a little bit scary. Glad they had something in reserve to summon. So we still get our XP while taking minimum damage. We're gonna take a farmer here. I mean, it's just with the +8 toughness from the shield squire, like the 2 12-20s is gonna pretty easily win us most fights at this stage in the game. And yeah, once again we deal some damage even to Toy Dino, who does have high attack. We get our free level 6 character is a King Arthur here, which is fantastic because we have this golden shield page and a Rapunzel's Prince in the shop, so we get to double support it immediately here. And that's going to be a lot of stats. It is going to give 150% of its stats to the supports as long as it dies before them. And it most likely should. And we get a shop with both Romeo and Juliet, so we're just going to take this Romeo and lock the Juliet here. There's also a Husky for a bunch of tempo, but I mean, I think we can just take the Romeo and Juliet and be pretty happy. We have a lot of stats already just with this King Arthur, putting those stats on the supports, on the boosters, I should say. Sorry. Yeah, I considered the Husky here, but I think we can just forgo it, because if we roll and find like another Juliet, then we want that a lot more than the first Husky, especially since we're not hurting for stats. Might as well go first here, try and get that those Juliet stats onto the Romeo. It's another lose the fight, win the war, but I don't know if we're going to be able to get weak enough. So I don't think it's worth trying to figure out how to ruin our board sufficiently. We do get another. We do finally triple that freed prince, and we get a Matryoshka doll. If we can take some more XP between now and like if we find a single future vision, then we can get to level 6 before the doll will pop. But honestly, like even if we have to swap heroes before hitting level 6, I think I'm mostly fine with that. And if we just don't find anything useful out of the hero change, we can always just opt not to change. We did get to pick up a second Rapunzel's Prince. I considered the Rapunzel, but I think I'd rather just support the Romeo Juliet for now. Speaking of Juliet, there is another one which we are going to happily pick up here and take another Demon's Deal. I think that's 4 this game already, so we've taken 4 damage just from spells. And there's an XP spell. That is one that we definitely want. We do have to get out of a pair here, which is a little bit awkward, but I think it's going to be worth it overall to go up an XP. If we find one more, then maybe we can get to our level 6 hero power before swapping out. And also, I feel pretty confident that we're going to be able to win with the especially with the King Arthur stats and the 2 unyielding Rapunzel's princes. There is another XP here. But again, I don't know if we're going to be able to sufficiently ruin our board to be able to take it, so we just pass it by. We are going to take a farmer, even though we just sold it to get to the XP. I think having a level 3 pair is still something that I want. Only have 5 gold left, but there are a couple mats here and a narc. Considering just taking the narc as like a treasure option, but decide to spin the wheel once more anyways. And we do find a haymaker, which is going to be absolutely fantastic here. Putting stats on our Romeos and Juliets and King Arthur is going to be really, really good because they all make use of the stats really well. And we do win that fight relatively handily there. Alright, we are on 5.2. These options are not the best, but I do think swapping to Hercules is better than just trying to get a random 6. There's just so many different whiffs on 6. And like we kind of have a sort of direction already. Like I mean, we have a lot of good characters. We've got a haymaker already for a food strategy potentially, and I think Hercules, while we're above 20, well I mean if we were below 20 we'd still get the power, but if we can get some more permanent stats onto the Romeo and Juliet or King Arthur, then doubling those stats is going to be really powerful. Also gives us a third hero attack, just potentially save some HP for us. I think we're going to sell down and we're going to take this mat. We're going into 6 next turn. If we get like a really good stealth shop on 6.0, then I think it's worth making this hedge anyways. We do win that fight, knocking Amateur very low. Unfortunately, no big stealth shop here, but we do find another haymaker, which we are going to happily snap up. Considered, I think, the duelist. The rummage spell is also a consideration, just to try and get again some stats onto our characters. But we take a roll and we get rewarded for it. There's a Juliet triple as well as a fisherman and the flounder, and we're gonna take the fisherman and just lock the Juliet. Just gonna be more gold efficient this way. And also, we really want to get the food stats on the fisherman as early as possible here. As yeah, I mean, it lets our farmers retain 70% of their food stats, and then those food stats that they retain from the haymakers, putting food stats on them, are going to get doubled on each subsequent turn. So yeah, now our stats are going to slowly start to scale as we're putting plus 10, plus 6 food stats on everything every turn, and then we're retaining some amount of that with the haymakers. And then those are going to get those initial food stats that got retained are going to get doubled by the fisherman, and that's going to make our Romeo Juliet even more effective as well. We're going to take another Romeo here, as I mean, of course, we'd be happy to upgrade it. We did take the Blackbeard Spyglass, level 4 treasures. I mean, we're just healthy enough that we can afford to grade it. We didn't need to necessarily take stats, and I think that's going to help us find something very powerful, especially with this baby mimic. Now that we got the Romeo triple, we can just find like a high level treasure that we want to attach baby mimic to. Then I think we're going to be in pretty good shape. We do lose this fight to Toy Dino, who seems to have found a ton of great hits for their hunters comp there. And yeah, it was only 5.2 during that turn, and they had multiple golden Gretels. So yeah, just hit, I guess. And yeah, we do lose that in I guess like it's not in too bad fashion, but it does activate our hero power, which does add a decent amount of stats, doubling our golden Romeo and golden Juliet. And with those added food stats, they are looking pretty big. I think it's time to get out of the King Arthur though. We want to start getting some food stats on the good boy. If we can scale the good boy, then that's just gonna be a really efficient delivery of those stats anyways. Really make use of the extra stats, and because I mean we don't really necessarily want to be playing the supports for King Arthur too much longer. Honestly, this Rapunzel's Prince is already kind of run its course. We kind of need to replace it. And there's another Hunter's comp. Shout out to D Kirby. I think he was in my last video as well. I do encourage people to snipe me while I'm streaming on Twitch, as I'd rather play against a lobby full of snipers than have to play against saved wards. Just the human element's a lot more fun to me. That's why I don't really touch the async mode generally. Just something about it is just, I don't know, it just doesn't scratch the same itch. That's probably why I never really got into back-to-back battles either, when that was the new hotness. Consider just getting out of the baby mimic here to take the divine messenger. And like maybe lean into a support thing with the King Arthur, but instead I just decided to re-roll. and hopefully find something that we can mimic. We're like relatively healthy, like 16's not too bad. We get a second Juliet here, which we are gonna snap up. And yeah, I just think we have the time. We have the time to potentially greed for a reroll there. All right, Treasure Hamster here has a Doppelganger's Diamond and summoning an extra cat cabinet. They do have a cat queen as well, so they've got a lot of stats over there. Unfortunately, we don't quite get to the. If Romeo had died there, then maybe we get the tie, because Juliet would have gotten a ton of stats. But unfortunately, the cats just didn't have the right break point. We actually wanted them a little bit stronger there, just to pop the Romeo. But unfortunately, Juliet does die before the Romeo. We do drop to 7 with that loss though as well, so that's not great. We're basically one combat away from dying here, but we didn't drop low enough to to trigger our second hero power. So we do need to find a Demon's Deal just to trigger that, because we can't take a loss. Really considering another Haymaker here. I mean, just being able to retain more stats does mean more scaling from the Fisherman, and we're running out of time anyways, so we're going to take it and cast the Starlight Strike here. We got a pretty big stealth board across the way, but fortunately we do have a fair amount of stats, and we have just enough hero attack to get the tie there. So it looks like we're about to kind of get dwarfed by the lobby and just get kind of swallowed up. But our rerolled treasure yields us a baby mimicked anticipating drumroll, which is basically exactly the treasure we needed. And also the one level 6 treasure that we got offered because of our spyglass. So all this setup we did really paid off in a very very dramatic, specific fashion. We're down to one loss to go here. We do find our Demon's Deal finally as well, so we're gonna be able to pop our second hero power. And there's another Fisherman, which I think we need to get to this turn. The good boy hasn't really gotten a lot of stats. Like, it would scale pretty well, but I think what we really need to do is take the Fisherman here. So we sell the extra Juliet and the good boy for a second Fisherman, and of course that's just going to give us a lot more stats. Just a much bigger power spike than holding the good boy and hoping that it scaled enough. And I think we definitely needed it, because we came very close to, I mean, we came close to a tie, I guess, or came close to a loss. So I think that was probably important. We're gonna cast this spell that puts, I think it's 7/7 food stats. These spells are actually pretty effective when you have a build like this, when you have so many ways to double initial food stats. Because those numbers do, I guess, when you start multiplying food stats, then the numbers, even small numbers, get pretty large pretty quickly. Considering the Nero, it does put food stats on things, but we don't have any other dogs. And also, like, I don't know, I try to stay away from dog food, just because it's just a little played out at this point. It's such a reliable comp, but at the same time, like, I'm trying to make content here, so I don't want to be just making the same, playing the same comp over and over again. I say that, and as I just made like a monkey food video just the other day. And we are going to lock a monkey here. Although we are playing Romeo and Juliet. That makes it spicy, right? Romeo and Juliet eating their fill at the farm or something like that. There was another monkey there, which maybe we should have taken. But also, like, we kind of really want to take this. Like, we can't really play a monkey on board right now. I mean, I guess we could cut a Haymaker there. But we don't need to. We do find a Haymaker triple, which gives us a Philosopher's Stone, which is actually going to be fantastic, because we're going to be able to slot our monkey in there, and that's going to be upgraded for the fight, and also give us upgraded stats. So for those that don't really know how this interaction works, basically monkey gives all the stats that he gives 133% of all the stats that he gained during this fight, and because entrances go from 1 to 7. So Fisherman's going to go, then the 2 Haymakers, then Fisherman, and then the Monkey. So the Monkey's going to get all those stats from the Fisherman's, doubling the initial food stats, as well as the Haymaker. The Haymaker stats that he gets during the fight don't get doubled from the Fisherman, though. So you do need to get some stats on there and retain them with the Haymakers. But Yeah, once you start doubling those initial food stats, then the monkey starts applying a bunch of extra stats, basically just like further enhancing your fisherman buffs or your food buffs. So it's hard to say the exact numbers because of the the percentages, but because like it's 133%, it's just such a weird number. But yeah, now we definitely want to put all the food stats that we can onto the monkey so that the fisherman can double those, and then all those doubled food stats are just going to continue to be applied to our board. As you can see, like each turn, our numbers are growing progressively much better. It's a pretty strong cat board though, with the celestial treasure or celestial shield treasure. But yeah, they're failing to even take down one of our characters. As you can see, the size of our board. Although the monkey doesn't apply the buff his own buff to himself anymore, so he is a lot smaller than the rest of the board. So he does die, but the rest of our board is just a bunch of Titanic-sized farmers here. And yeah, now at this point, we want to triple our monkey, of course, and triple our farmer. Like more runes would be nice, considering the rummage here for a potential food stat spell, because again, the food stat spell on the monkey does actually go a long way. We do end up with a monkey triple here, but nothing worth taking, and we just skip it and roll down as fast as possible, hoping to lock a farmer here, lock a fisherman, anyways. Pretty big, another hero. Basically, every one of our opponents, it feels like they're all hero attacks. I guess there's one cat opponent, but a lot of hunters in this lobby. Been seeing a lot of hunters on ladder, just in general. So, not sure if it's just because it's gotten very good because of sort of a metagame shift recently, or it's just like people have just discovered the Watson scaling, or how Watson can reliably make your Gretels and Hansels very, very large. We are going to take another entrance rune here, since we don't seem to be finding our third fisherman. I think another entrance rune. I mean, it basically gives us another fisherman, although upgrading it would be even better because we'd get a shot at a level 7 treasure. There's another entrance rune. We do make like relatively short work of that last opponent. Like they are pretty strong. Like they've scaled their hunters pretty well, but they're just not competing with our monkey food numbers here. Doppelganger Diamond on the Dying Breath runed Sherlock does increase their attack too a lot, but once again our numbers are just bigger as our Romeo finishes with over 10,000 health there. Yeah, there we go. The anticipating drum roll with the baby mimic on the reroll was just so absurdly clutch. We were definitely going to lose the very next fight if we hadn't hit basically exactly that. So we got pretty fortunate here, but yeah, there we go. I've been playing a lot of food lately. I think it's a very powerful late game build, as you can plainly see. Like I said, dog food is kind of an even easier one to get into, although it doesn't quite have the same ceiling, I don't think. Maybe it does, because like the Nero's putting food stats on good boys. If you just have like 4 good boys, Nero and like 2 fishermen, like the stats do go kind of crazy because they just kind of feed off each other, and again they just keep multiplying stats on each other. But yeah, anyways, let me know if you enjoyed that. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. I would very, very much appreciate that. Yeah, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow.